Hey, my name is Raye, and you're watching RaeOfBooks, and welcome to my March TBR. Look, I know I owe y'all a January wrap-up. I know I owe y'all a February wrap-up. I did not do a February TBR, though, because February is my most problematic and most joyful month. So I already knew I needed the freedom to read whatever the heck I wanted to read, whenever the heck I wanted to read it, without adding something else on top of it. I won't go into all of the negatives of February, but a lot of it has to do with being one of the only Black youth services librarians in the library system I work for. And the other half, the joyful half of it, is I love Valentine's Day, and it's my birth month, and it is my kiddo's birth month. We share a birthday, actually. So February is just a busy month, and it's filled with emotions, feelings, and too much. So I didn't do a February TBR, but I'm back with the March TBR. So let's just get into it. So there are 3 fiction books that I want to read this beautiful, rainy, cold month of March. The first of which is I want to continue onward with the Sister Fidelma mystery series. This is book 3, Suffer Little Children by Peter Tremayne. And I've talked about the series multiple times, but in case you didn't know, this is a murder mystery series set in 6th century, 7th century Ireland, and it's incredibly good, and it's filled with all sorts of historical details and historical tidbits, and that's my jam. I love medieval history, so finding a mystery series written in a medieval time period is like a dream come true. So definitely want to finish this one this month. I actually also want to finish the 4th book in this series this month, but I am unsure if I'm actually going to be able to find it or have enough brain space to read it this month as well. But yes, the second book that I want to get through this month, and another book in a series, is the House Witch book 2 by Delemhach. I read book 1 and I friggin' loved it. Absolutely loved it. Loved it so much, in fact, that I promptly went onto Amazon right after finishing it and ordered all 3 of them. So I have all 3 of the books in my own personal possession and collection, and I am insanely excited about reading this. This series is hilariously fun. It follows this house witch named Finley for formal, and his adventures in the castle that he works in, and it's just a really fun, snarky, entertaining fantasy series. If you liked City of the Dream book by, I think his name is Walter Moores, this is kind of up the exact same alley as that. So I love it. I just love this series. And the third and final fiction book that I want to make it through this month is Deadliest Intuition by Raye and Turonek. I brought this one up in a currently checked out video, but I felt like it might be something I actually have to add to a TBR for myself, because as much as I am excited to read an urban fiction book, I do find myself distracted by all the other books that I have going on. So I want to prioritize urban fiction this year. I'm adding that into my bookish goals, and I'm going to start by reading this one. Last month I read Carl Weber's Black Hamptons, and I really, really enjoyed it. So this month I want to do Deadliest Intuition, and this one, I believe, what is it? It's a suspenseful psychological thriller about this woman named Gertrude and this dude named I can't, his last name, Ronald Doolally. It's one of those words that like tickles my brain in a funny way. But anywho, Gertrude is trying to figure out Ronald Doolally's secrets, and Ronald has a very, very keen sense of intuition, and his intuition is telling him that something about Gertrude ain't right, and Gertrude keeps poking the bear like a fool. At least that's what it sounds like in the synopsis. So ooh! I never noticed the cover. It's a lady on the cover. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Obviously I don't look too closely at books. Anywho, this is on my TBR. I want to read at least one urban fiction book a month, and this is going to be my urban fiction book for March. And then I have 3 nonfiction books this month, which is actually quite exciting. The first of which is Lagom. I don't know. It's not too little, not too much. The Swedish Art of Living a Balanced, Happy Life by Niki Brantmark. Do y'all remember when like all the Swedish shit was all over the place and everyone was like, oh, the Swedish lifestyle is the lifestyle to go for? I remember that. And I refused to engage with it when they first came out. But now that I saw this book and it was like, oh, not too little, not too much. The Art of Living a Balanced, Happy Life. I was like, you know what? One of my goals for 2023 is to find balance in my life. So why not just see what this cute little blue book is about? And it actually is incredibly adorable. Like, it has a lot of pictures. That's kind of all I need, actually. I just need a lot of pictures. So I am looking forward to reading this. It does have some pretty interesting like points. There's how to trick yourself into being an early riser, which is something that I'm trying to do. There's like some Swedish wedding games. There's something about like dressing your child for cold weather, and I just think that's a cute thing to have. So I'm kind of looking forward to reading this. It just sounds like a fun way for me to find some balance in my life. And I'm getting big on self-help books. So the second nonfiction book that I have on my March TBR is How to Live Like a Monk, Medieval Wisdom for Modern Life by Danièle Cybulskie. I tried. Anywho, I probably mentioned it a million and one times, but I have a bachelor's degree in medieval history, and I love medieval history. I love a lot of aspects of medieval history, but I specifically really enjoy how religion influences life during that time period. So I bought this, I don't know how many months, maybe years ago at this point, and it has been sitting on this bookshelf completely and totally unread. And as I go through the Sister Fidelma series, I find myself kind of wanting to know more about like monastic life and what it entails and how I could bring some elements of monastic life into modernity. So hence why I have this one on my March TBR. It looks really good. It looks really fun. I love the illustrations and the photos and everything else that's scattered throughout this book. It just seems like it's going to be a really good time. Okay, so each chapter explores a different aspect of monks' daily lives, from their schedule of work and prayer to the gardens they kept, and reveals its lessons for the present. So sounds pretty solid. And the last book on my March TBR is Black Imagination, curated by Natasha Marin. I actually found this book. I found this book down the block from me probably a million months ago, it feels like at this point. And it was in a box of books, and this is one of the books in the box of books. And I remember when it first came out, I had a hold on it. But I think the hold came in sometime during like pandemic times, like full-blown pandemic times, and I just never got around to reading it. But I realized it's been sitting on the shelf in which I'm keeping all of the books that I found in that box of books. And I was like, why am I taking so long to read this? I don't remember much about this. I do know that it is supposedly more of like an art piece and less of a book piece. And really, when I was looking through books to figure out what I was going to read this month, it was the foreword of this one that really got me. And it says, Black Imagination is a book that listens while it tells and questions while it answers, and then when the silt settles, it muddies the water again. Each voice offers unique insight into what it means to imagine and to heal, as well as what origins themselves mean. In this way, it's cyclical, not a perfect cycle, but a cycle like the turbulence of pouring cream into coffee. Blackness is expanded, layered, multiple, and lush like we already know it is, but what it isn't always recognized and valued by whiteness. So based off of that alone, I knew I had to read it, and it's on my list of things to read this month, and that means I'm definitely going to read it. So I'm looking forward to this. Yeah. And And that is it for this video. That is the entirety of my March TBR. Let me know what it is that is on your March TBR. And if you don't keep monthly TBRs, let me know what it is that you are currently reading, enjoying, and vibing with. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It helps me out with the algorithm. And if you ever want to see or hear me babble about books, please hit that subscribe button. It really does mean the absolute world to me. And that's it. I will catch y'all in the next one. I hope everyone is having wonderful days and reading wonderful books, and toodles!